welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is June 20th, 2022. I'm your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy Pokemon Trigger, please. We're back at it again.
Another week, another time, Happy Father's Day to
my
anybody yesterday. Thank you so much for always being great fathers out there, for sure. I opened 2X just now, and I guess I'm the father of 2X now. I think one of the reasons why we're actually here on a Monday instead of a Sunday is because, again, it was Father's Day yesterday. I had to spend it with my family. I wanted to spend it with my family, so I definitely just said, let's just push it back. Nobody's going to care about us today. But we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as everybody else. So how you been, Chris? How you been doing things around?
It's been a great week, man.
Yeah.
This event has been pretty dandy. Definitely not as crazy as Adventure Week, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of cool spawns and everything, but we'll definitely get to it when we get to it, since we're only in the first week of the event. Not even the first week. It's only been 5 days, I think. Yeah, because it started on a Thursday. I remember that. It was the day after my birthday.
Yeah, for Adventure Week or this one?
This one, the TCG crossover.
Yeah, it feels like this one's longer.
Yes, it's a 2 week.
May just be.
It's a 2 week.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get there in just a moment. So let's remember everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out at professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single day, and a lot of different things when it comes down to it. That Fishy, thank you for joining us. How's it going? We're doing great. We're talking about podcasts. We're going Pokemon Go. You saw our notes, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, Lord. All right, Chris, I guess we should actually get everything else out of the way. Let's talk about shinies, hundos. And you pretty much know who this guy is. All right. So.
Yeah, this Rocket Grunt's going to have to wait an extra second.
I'm trying. I'm going to do a... whatever. I don't care about Arla right now.
So, funny enough, I got a rank 1 lantern that spawned as a lantern at my house not too long ago. And I thought that was pretty crazy.
I thought that was a long while ago. Was it last week that you got that?
It was literally the 15th.
Okay, so, yeah, no, last week, yeah.
Yeah, and then I did manage to get a 0-14-15 Slowpoke. You'd think that would be like a rank 2 or 1, but I think it's like 22 or something. I'm definitely holding on to it.
Yeah.
This is definitely a good time to get a PvP Wimpod. Very interesting move sets for this little guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely scooping him up. Other than that, I didn't get any hundos, and I have not gotten a shiny for this TCG inspired event yet. But I also, and you're gonna hate me for this, I have not opened a Meltan box yet. Not a single one.
You're fired.
Oh my god. I'll probably open one tomorrow because it's gonna be my day off.
Okay.
And I'll definitely be out and about. But I wanted to be walking around while I used it, and I just haven't had the opportunity.
Not necessarily. You actually just like I mentioned in the last podcast, the Melton box is not nerf. It doesn't have the nerf.
It's not?
No, so it's 1 every minute.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right.
Yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
Hopefully you get a shiny, of course. Something like that. The one Hamtaro. Thank you very much for joining us. The first Hamtaro. Yeah, the first. Oh, hey, yeah, I remember from Twitter. Yeah, hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. We're here talking podcasts, all the things. You're gonna see that we're less organized than anything. So thank you so much. What are you talking about, dude? Oh my goodness.
He's the one that mentioned using the Kadabra card.
Oh yeah. That's great.
In the TCG.
Like, I'm organized? Well, yeah. I listen to the podcast, don't worry. The first center is also a great friend here on Twitter, and he talks things Pokemon Go too. So we'll get you in the podcast next time. How about we look into that later We'll see where it goes. Anyways, I'll go ahead and go through my holes. And yeah, so I actually I had the same not the same luck when it comes to PvP Pokemon, I guess. I did get a Hundo. It was an Eevee. I'm actually happy about that, as always. Because I am only missing now one Eevee evolution. So I got it into Vaporeon. Luckily, I got it into Vaporeon.
Wow.
So now I'm just waiting for the Jolteon, and I have the full Eevee evolution, and of course an extra Eevee. So I can have the full family Hundo. I'll work on getting every single one of them to level 50 eventually, but that's going to be a grind in itself.
You said the last one you need is Jolteon?
Jolteon, yeah.
I think your best bet then is just getting people to trade you Jolteons then, right?
Yes. Yeah, I could probably try to do that. But I've been somewhat lucky with the Eevee transformations, or evolutions at least, so hasn't been too bad on that. Again, it's just a matter of getting it for sure. That's the only Hundo I got. I did get shinies, and like Chris, I did actually open my Melton box 3 times already. So
no.
I'll start with oh no, this iron was a trade. Never mind. Then I did get a P-Dove the day before my birthday, and a Gold Plus, just like always. And then I got 1, 2, 3 Meltons in 3 boxes. The last 2 Meltons was in today's box. So and an Eevee. I also got an Eevee. So I have at least some trade baits. I've been looking for the Hundo or Shando if I ever get to what I can. But yeah, I am been up in religiously that box every 2 days. But it has been a nice little grind here and there. When it comes down to it. Gata, thank you so much for joining us once again. But yeah, as far as it is, I guess we should talk about the event since we're already talking about all the shinies and things that we're getting through that. TCG event crossover. What do you think so far, Chris?
Of the event?
Yes, of the TCG crossover.
I'll be honest. The spawns haven't been as crazy as I would have hoped, honestly.
Right.
I've seen a few, it was really just the Snorlax that I was hoping to see. So I think that's the only thing that's disappointed me.
You haven't seen Snorlax? Bro, I finished the whole collection, jealous. I've seen Snorlax.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I finished that in, the first day.
Yeah.
It was just the trades that took me a little bit of time. I had just had to trade Julie. But it was just annoying, I'd say, more than anything. Having to find Slacking and, a few other of the, rarer spawns. Definitely Dragonite. Super cool to see him boosted in the wild. But, Slacking, like a Pokemon that is only good for having a high CP, that's it.
You know Cowboy Caterpie, right?
Yeah. When are we getting that?
He actually got a House Hundo Slacking.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, can I get that lucky? Third stage evolution Hundo, and I have never actually gotten that in my entire life.
I can't remember ever getting that, except from a raid, obviously.
Well, yeah, obviously raids are raids, but if you find it in the wild, at second stage technically, because I'm talking first stage, second stage, third stage, whatever the case may be.
I know what you mean.
Final evolution Pokemon in the wild with Hundo IVs. How can somebody not actually scream for something like that? I think.
Oh! I did get a Nundo. I forgot about that. I just remembered. A Nundo Numal. Dude, I haven't seen a Nundo in forever. It took me off guard.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's still a good thing. I'm not so much of a keeping Nandos. I probably got 1 or 2 that I kept, and everything else has just been a candy grinder,
It's definitely hard to pick and choose what you want to keep.
Oh yeah,
I'll definitely say that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, my storage already looks like a mess, anyways. So why I even want to keep the Nandos, even though they're rare as it is? That's just my policy when it comes down to it. I know a lot of people are probably gonna rage, just you don't keep Nandos. What are you doing? I'm like. They're not that useful, and I gotta spend my money correctly. Anyways, but yeah, it's a thing in there. So the TCG crossover event, if you guys don't know, we are actually getting a TCG set coming out in the next few weeks. Japan already has released. We'll go over some of the cards that are actually in the TCG set thanks to the Japanese release. Japan, of course. But the spend spawns, getting to see all the starters, their evolutions. The final evolutions are in raids and in field research. Mewtwo is back in Rage, which I think is the most the biggest thing out of everything. And we have 2 weeks of Mewtwo anyway, so it's not like it's gonna go away anytime, anything. But yeah, Mewtwo has been kicking my butt this week. I've been raiding him almost nonstop at one point. Well, I mean, whenever I get the chance to just sit down and have an hour sesh or something like that, I use Poke Genie to go through the raids and everything. And I feel like the rates on Mewtwo has actually, at least the shiny rates on Mewtwo has actually gone up from the last time. So basically, you're just taking me longer to get one than anything else.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
I have a bunch of Mewtwo's, of course, shiny that I actually got from previous events anyway. So it's not like I'm really looking for it. I kind of wanted that Shando if I could, like another Hando kind of thing. Max that out to level 50 and then be ready for X and Y Megas when it comes out, of course. Which it doesn't make sense to have two different ones, but if each one of them has a specific moveset, then it depends on the typing, of course. So it's not a bad thing, but where's my shiny? I literally been looking for a shiny Mewtwo. Even I don't care getting that Nando Raid shiny. Give me a shiny, damn it.
To be fair, the odds are that there's gonna be bad runs in the raids, and there's going to be good runs in the raids.
I think this is my bad
run. Where there's
good
luck, there has to be bad luck.
Yeah, I think this is my bad luck, or at least my bad week of Mewtwo. I'll try to do raid hour on Wednesday for it, even though I know a lot of people are probably not going to get there, but I know that they're still interested.
I would like to for that one.
Okay.
I'll definitely Side Strike.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll meet you Wednesday then. How about that?
But yeah, literally 2 days from now. If you're hearing this, it's definitely not lined up unless you're live.
Well, if this podcast releases in podcast services fees by Wednesday, they'll definitely hear it before the actual raid hour, unless but spread the word, and things like that.
Let's get that Shundo.
Thank you so much for talking in the chat, everybody. One of my friends did 200 raids without getting a shiny Ho-Ho.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's I know that's a F in the chat for his friend. But yes. It's still the whole event itself is actually pretty okay. Again, the Dragonite, being seen wild Dragonites, even just seeing those, it brings back the memories, brings back everything that goes through how you play the game back in the day when you see a rare spawn like that. Now they're just popping up like they're like nobody. I'm like, this used to be rare. Where's my damn rare? Anyways, when it comes down to it, it's still a pretty good thing. So, in the end of the day, we still have another week. I don't want to give a rating until then. I don't know if there's going to be a twist to the event for another week or so. I do think that I have to restock before this weekend, because this weekend is Dino Community Day. And that's going to be something that I definitely want to raid and do. So, what am I talking about? Not raid. Hunt! And actually...
Well, there are going to be raids.
That's true. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm quitting, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, it's something that I got to do in the next few days. I'm probably just going to set my Pokestop and not catch any Pokemons. But I kind of want to catch Pokemons too. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to figure it out when I get there. But yeah, Dino Community Day is coming up. But I guess that's it for recaps. We don't have a lot in the recap section, I guess. Because this event is such a long one, and we just started this week. It is the 20th June. Juneteenth was yesterday, at least as recording this podcast. So for us in the United States, we do have a correspondence holiday to it. So I guess Niantic forgot, and they got their own holiday too. So not too bad, not too shabby when it comes out to it. I guess we'll probably get more news next week. Starting tomorrow. But we do have a little bit of context. So today's research topic, let's talk about things. The one thing that they did announce last week that I'm actually happy about is the Meet and play with notable trainers in Berlin and Seattle. They haven't even announced anything for Japan, so I'm kind of worried. But this means that you get to see your favorite creators, Pokemon Go creators out there. Woohoo! And there's a bunch, just like always. Notable faces, Trainer Tips, OE2 does the Trainer Club. Let's Go Try, Though Technical, Crickets 23, Couple of Gaming. Those kind of people that you always watch on YouTube. Yeah, big boys of the Pokemon Go community for sure. So I'm kind of happy to see the list. We're going to go over a little bit of who you can meet and things like that. So let's get to it, shall we? So it says that in Pokemon Go Fest Berlin meets and greets details. It says there will be designed meet and greet tents near the information booth in the southernmost area of the park. Meet and greets with notable trainers will happen every day in Pokemon Go Berlin, July 1st to July 3rd between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. local time. Slides may be capped early if necessary. I'm pretty sure it's got to cap like literally the first hour. But yeah, so Berlin time slots, we have, I could go over this entire list, and there's a lot of people to meet. Notable ones, of course, be people like Zoe Tudos. I definitely want to meet Keyboard Gamer, which is a Hispanic based, South America based YouTuber out there. I always watch his videos. It's actually pretty cool. Trainer Club, I met him already, so I'm kind of like, if I see him, I see him. Trainer Tips is in slot 3. That is, of course, if you're going to Berlin. I don't know if you actually going to Berlin, Chris.
Berlin, I don't think I was there very long. If I was, I was over in Europe, but I don't think I've been to Berlin.
But you're not going to Berlin Go Fest, right?
No. If I could have made Seattle, I would have made that one. But yeah, Berlin's a bit more of a travel.
Yeah. So I want to say to anybody who actually wants to see their favorite creator, go ahead and go to the actual blog post and check it out. Again, I can go over the entire thing. I believe that at that point, you guys will probably get bored of me actually saying all the names. And once again, every single game between the hours and things like that. So, again, novel trainers in Berlin guided trek. I'm not sure what that is. Guided treks will happen Saturday, June 25th to 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. local time. Will held the following community day meetup applications. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but we'll figure it out when we get there. And then there is the Go Fest Seattle ones. Not sponsored. Yes, I know. One day, hopefully. There's the Seattle ones again, mainly for people that you want to meet. Trainer Club, Cricket 23, Trainer Tips, and who else here that I really wish I can see?
Dude, I'm waiting for the content, buddy. Waiting for the content.
Looks like I know, right? This looks like on Sunday. The time slot for Sunday's gameplay in Seattle on the second time slot at Thurman Park Experience from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Adam Tuttle and Ken Pescator from the Lore Up Creator Series. The Lore Up podcast. Chris and Kyle from the GoCast and Steve Sorrow from It's Super Effective. They're all going to be there at the last hour of the event. So they're getting their recognition. I think that's the reason why Niantic is flying them out. I don't know if I should say that. I guess I should say that. Yeah, they already talked about it. They already talked about it in the podcast. Sorry. But yeah, no, they're flying out. Niantic's flying them out. They're actually like good content creators, Ken and Chris. So Ken from Lure Up and Chris from GoCast. They both did I think it was the 2020 or 2021, like Pokemon Go Fest radio. And if you can hear their voices, I think they were actually there. They were talking about it in the voices. So they're actually like in the Niantic, content creator list, which Niantic, if you're hearing this, please, we also want to be part of that. But I know that, one day we'll hopefully see everybody out there. So I hope that I can meet up everybody. Just like Chris says, I will be going there on the whole weekend, actually. My gameplay is Saturday or Friday? I think it was Friday. Okay, let me check.
Oh.
My gameplay is... Actually, hold on. Let me make sure that nobody else sees like my ticket registration or something to it. Yes, so I'll be doing the 23rd.
Ooh.
So that is, if I believe correctly. Actually, that's close to a month from now, which is not bad. Yes, I will be playing Saturday. So I think I chose that mostly because me and my friend, we were like, we gonna go ahead and have some fun. We're gonna be actually doing an Airbnb with a lot of other content creators. One of them being Adam and Ken from the Lord of Figures. We're also gonna see JT Ballard. We're gonna see a lot of people actually, like a lot of people that just want to go ahead and get. We got two. They got two Airbnbs, and I got to snatch one of the areas. So cool and cool and cool and cool and cool and cool. Anyways, if you want to meet up your favorite creators, make sure you actually know the times and places. The parks are not going to be like closed up to anybody, so you can actually go there on a day that you're not playing and actually try to meet them if that's the case. So they're still out there. They're still there. And I'm sure that, in the coming weeks, we'll probably see some kind of like creator meetup or something outside of the Niantic time slots and everything, which they did in 2019. And that was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I'm glad they do stuff like that.
yeah, I know, because they want to talk to the community. How about that? I love that about the community here. But yeah, that's not too bad, not too shabby when it comes down to it. I know this Sumeril has been like teasing me for the last minute because he's weather boosted. I don't got
He's chunky.
I don't have the great balls to catch you, brother. Anyway, but yeah, so that's that, and actually that's all the news that we got. Just like I said, we had the whole weekend since the start of the event, plus Juneteenth happening today, technically. So Niantic took a little bit of rest time. This second week, I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of news in the coming weeks, especially because the anniversary of Pokemon Go is coming up July 6th. So it's coming up pretty soon and a lot of different things.
They're usually pretty sneaky about those events for stuff like that too.
Just give me another mega legendary. That's all I want. But we'll see. So now that we don't have a lot, and before we go over the TCG Go set, I actually wanted to talk about, and I've been seeing a lot of like tips and tricks that all the other content creators have been doing for the summer and things like that, or what do you want to do. So I kind of wanted to do the same. If anybody's listening, of course, I'd like to actually remind what tips we can actually give you guys to see what better experience you have, things that we have learned maybe over the last few years that has definitely, given us an edge in playing the game more than it was before. Everybody depends on how you want to actually play. And, if you're a casual or a hardcore, or if you want to maximize things, we have a little bit of experience. Well, 6 years of experience in this game. So Chris and I all definitely think that we can give out our tips and tricks, if anything. So you want me to start, Chris, or you want to go, huh?
For sure. I'll just think of a few while you do that.
So, if anything, there is a lot of things that you can do to maximize your game experience. One of them being, things like the quick catch mechanic. If you guys don't know,
exactly what I was thinking.
It's actually like the best mechanic, non-fixable mechanic by a Niantic that they have so far, because it makes the game play just a lot smoother and a lot faster for yourself. Now, if you go into a Pokemon encounter, let me show you here, and you say, okay, this Pokemon is here, Solrock is here. I throw a Pokeball, boom, I get an ice, whatever. And be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I didn't catch it. I'm gonna have to try again. Next time with a Gray Ball, hopefully better. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I caught it. Cool. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I go to this gray screen and go to the overworld. So how long it took me to actually catch this Pokemon? 10 plus seconds at least,
Shame.
So that's something that, it gets kind of tiring if you want to grind out for, other Pokemons and other things, especially things like Community Day, where, just like this Community Day Dino, you want to catch as many as possible if you can. Get the extra large candy, things like that if you're actually above level 31. So the quick catch mechanic, which is a little bit of a glitch, but at the same time something that Niantic has never actually taken away. So if you go into the encounter of the Pokemon, there's an option to select your Pokeballs or your berries. What you're going to have to do is actually hold either the berry or the Pokeball option, and then just keep holding it. Don't let go. When you touch on it and hold it, you're not going to open the menu just yet. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab and hold that. throw the Pokeball, whatever you want to. It could be a straight Pokeball, it could be a spin Pokemon, whatever, Pokeball and everything. And then what you're gonna do when you release the Pokeball, you release your other thumb or the other hand through the thing, and then just exit out of the encounter. If you actually do it fast, it could literally take you 2, maybe 3 seconds at best if you actually master it. It depends on how you do it. A lot of people can do it one-handed. I don't know how they can do that.
There's a person that said they would ride their bike while doing that.
Oh God, I wouldn't be able to, no matter how much you try. But anyways, it's kind of like a two-hand technique, but it does make the encounters a lot faster. When the Pokeball hits the Pokemon, you can actually back out when it appears there. And if it actually catches it, it will be in your inventory. If you try to catch it again, it's either going to run away or it's just going to give you an error, no matter how much you say. You're not breaking the game doing this. You're just doing things that are actually more effective at the end of the day. So that's one of the tricks when it comes down to it. It actually speeds up your gameplay a lot more. Maybe another trick that I actually think that a lot of people hasn't taken into consideration just yet is you level up megas. Now the level up mega system has only come into Pokemon Go really recently because it was a good big change when it comes down to it. If you go into your Mega Pokemons, you can see that there is a level up mechanic that goes from base level to high level to max level. Some of the bonuses for things like the high level, which is the second tier, it will be, Cash Cat bonus, Body Ally attacks, 5-day Mega Evolution per period, great Candy XL chance, Catch experience bonuses, and then greatly reduce Mega Energy cost. However, though, if you actually go to the max level, you get things like excellent Candy XL experience, enhanced Catch experience bonus, and massively reduced Mega Energy. The biggest part about that is the XL Candy. It increases from a 25% chance to a 50% chance of getting an XL Candy for the Pokemon. So,
in my opinion, the extra candy itself is just really nice too.
That's true. That is actually a base level of the ability. If you Mega evolve a Pokemon throughout the time that you're catching the same type of Pokemon, you get an extra candy from just catching the Pokemon. So instead of getting 3, you get 4. If you do the Pineapple Berry, you get 6 to 8, right? Yeah, 8 from 4, 8, and things like that. And then you just keep increasing that the more evolutions and everything you get through that. So something to consider is the Mega Evolution. Just evolve the Mega Pokemon, especially in Dino Day, to get your extra large candy. The best part of it is I have a level 3 already, or a max level Altaria, ready to go for Community Day. So I'll be definitely Mega Evolving that. I don't have to worry about Mega Evolving it anymore until then because it is ready to go. And I'll get all the extra large candies that I can when it comes down to it. Now that I talked for the last 5 minutes, go ahead, Chris.
All right. For those of you that use all your items, definitely recommend opening up gifts. I know it's tedious, but you can do a little thing called like a fast opening. Sort by gift or whatever is easy for you.
Right.
You literally hit open and then the X at the bottom, and you don't have to sit through and scroll through all that.
Yes.
Literally takes like 2 to 5 minutes, I would say, to open up the max, which is 20, as long as you have enough bag space.
Right. And I'll demonstrate
I highly
here.
recommend that.
Yeah, so basically I'm opening the gift for somebody. I open it, but I go ahead and click the exit button, and then that opens the gifts. And that actually saves you a couple of seconds from waiting to go through the animation of opening the gift, seeing what you get from the gift, maybe the level up from your friendship, all those things that take an extra 10, 15 seconds to go through anyway. So, great trip, Chris. What else you got?
Yeah, other than that, I guess it's not something we really worry about anymore. But if you run out of revives for whatever reason, you can power up your Pokemon, get that 1 HP from powering up a fainted Pokemon, and then you can use your potions.
Yes.
It's not something we really worry about. Like, if you raid a lot, you're gonna get a lot of revives.
Yeah, no, definitely. Or if you spin a lot of gems, then you also get a lot of revives anyway, so.
Other than that, I can't really think of too much more.
There's definitely a
to
lot
be
more
honest.
tricks. So what we're gonna do for today's question is actually gonna be what tips and tricks you actually have mastered that you want to give out to the community to enhance the player experience. So that question will be part of our question of the week. It will be on our social medias, and that way you can think things around. The first hunter actually did say that the badge catch boost is not well known, surprisingly. That's true. If you go into your profile and actually go scroll over to the badges, if you actually have the badges for every single one of the Pokemons maxed out, you get a multiplier of, I think, 1.4 of whenever you catch the Pokemon. So you actually have a chance of increasing your chance of catching the Pokemon that way. So it does help out a lot when it comes down to it, and it helps in the future. So if you have platinum methods like I do, great. If you have just great or things like that, try to catch as many Pokemon of that species, things like that. That will help you gain that edge in catching
Oh
Pokemon
yeah,
and things like that. There's also
it
a lot
adds
of
up real fast.
right. There's also a lot of advanced tricks that we don't know, like the quick catch mechanic actually has an extra step that a lot of people don't actually talk about it. That is using the AR mode for the
Oh
whole quick
yeah,
catch mechanic. It does take a little bit more advanced skill because you actually have to hold your phone in a certain way to actually catch the Pokemon in AR. But the way that it is, it actually shaves off a couple more seconds on the initial one. I don't really like using it unless I'm really grinding, like I'm really, really grinding. But yeah, that's the case point maybe.
personally, I'd be worried about the battery usage.
Not
That's
too.
just me though, but like most of the people that are really grinding are going to be walking around charging their phone at the same time.
And not
So if you can handle it, sure, but
that's
yeah,
right.
no,
And
I don't know if it's for me.
last and not least, it is the summer. Now, I know that it's summer for a lot of us here in the Northern Hemisphere and winter for a lot of the Winter Hemisphere. For the summer players, at least, make sure you stay hydrated. We have definitely have feel the heat of the summer, and we're not even in summer yet. It's like a couple of days off to summer. So make sure you keep yourselves hydrated and things like that. We're definitely going to see a lot of coming in. It's been raining like every single day here in Florida, so just keep an eye out for sure. The game will always be there. Just try to grind the safest way possible, and
Yeah, I was gonna say a shiny is not worth getting heat exhaustion. So
definitely
definitely keep hydrated, and that is right, Hamtaro. Definitely
sunscreen. Yeah,
sunscreen.
Chris definitely needs that.
Me more so than
Yeah,
you.
I know, right? Like I don't need sunscreen, man. I'm already like
Oh
sparkly
my
tan.
gosh.
It's like. But yeah, so keep an eye out, guys. Make sure you do what you can. But yeah, we'll definitely give you guys more tips and tricks. If you want to hear more, go over to our Twitter. If not, go ahead and email us. We'll definitely talk about things like that. All right, Chris, I'm pretty sure that you are going to like talking about the next topic here, which is TCG set. Let me go to Poke Beach here and actually go to the full reveal here. I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and put
has
in
been
notes.
revealed in Japanese, and oh, holy cannoli. I will say the promo packs for these have definitely been pretty good.
Yeah, no,
At
definitely.
least on the Japanese side. For us, it's going to be a lot easier to pick and choose which one you actually want.
Definitely. So, I'm going to go over to this website real quick. We have a lot of secret rares when it comes to the set, a lot of full arts when it comes down to the set, but not a lot of alternate art. So, this is going to be chase cards for sure.
Yo, yeah, no, it looks a lot better than I thought it would, honestly, now.
Yeah, definitely. So, a lot of Executive V, Mewtwo V, full art. We already know about the alternate art, Mewtwo. V, Conqueror B, Secret Art or alternate art, I guess. Melton B, which I'm actually happy about, but there is no alternate art Melmetal, which I'm actually, kind of sad. Dragonite is lacking the whole squad of leaders with Professor Willow. We do have our rainbows, Mewtwo Rainbow, Melmetal, Big Max, B-Max, and B-Star Rainbow. Dragonite Rainbow, the leaders, and Professor Willow. And we do have our gold cards, Mewtwo Gold Card, Egg Incubator Gold Card, and Lure Module Gold Card. So they're looking pretty nice. You also have to remember that in this set, we do have the Radiant Pokemon. So Radiant Venusaur, Radiant Charizard, Radiant Blastoise, and Radiant Eevee are be part of the set. Those are the special rares. Of course, there's definitely the normal cards and everything, but this is basically the collection part of things. if you really want to collect the cards. Anything that stands out for you, Chris?
In my opinion, too many rainbows.
Really?
I'm not a big fan of there being a lot of them to chase, but it's like that for every set.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, they look fantastic though. I'm a big fan of the Mewtwo V full art. I think that's one of the most gorgeous full arts that we've had in a while.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the alternate art here. Um, the V art is just fantastic. I think a lot of people haven't really been fans of the
Yeah.
full arts for
Yeah.
the past year or two for the Sword and Shield era, and even Sun and Moon for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, so it's nice to see that they're finally
Sun and Moon.
getting a good look for the full arts because they're supposed to feel better than pulling a V.
That's for sure. That is for sure. But hey, it is what it is. Now, let me ask you, Chris. Is this set that we're seeing right now in the Japanese set going to be the same set that we're going to have in English? Or are there going to be some differences here and there? Do you know anything about that?
So there's going to be a few differences, but the cards you're seeing on this page, they are going to be basically the same cards.
Okay.
I can't see them taking out any cards.
Well,
from the main set,
right? Some of them are like as promo specials and things like that. Like
Yes.
the little full arts are in promo cases, so you're gonna have to buy those individually when it comes down to it. But the set itself, I don't think it's a big set for the English set either, right?
No, yeah, it's gonna be fairly small. I think it's gonna be comparable to Celebrations, but it is gonna be harder to get all of the cards than Celebrations.
Right.
It's definitely not gonna be that easy.
Yeah.
But I really do think it's gonna be a fairly easy set to complete, unlike a lot of the more common sets that we've had recently that it's just impossible to collect all the cards if you're opening packs. This one I feel like it's more possible to open half the set on your own and then just buy whichever ones you want or trade for whatever ones you want after that if you feel inclined to do so.
Definitely. Well, I got a couple. Josie finally got to me. I got a couple of things coming out from the Pokemon Center. I'm definitely gonna be trying to see if I can hunt down all the leaders, and then just try to get as much ETBs as I can. Because if getting the set is gonna be hard, it's enough to complete. I'm also looking for another set, but anyways. But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm not spending as much as I think I'm going to. I'm just going to try to get as much as I can in probably the first wave, and then after that, just wait and trade for the rest of the stuff. So hopefully get something cool, something.
Yeah. If people are looking into getting the Pokemon Go cards, I highly recommend waiting. If you're just trying to buy the cards themselves instead of doing the gamble that is the Pokemon Go card opening that we love. You will get a lot better deals on the cards.
Yeah.
In the future, you may get lucky and pull the chase card, but the odds of that are slim to none. So we're assuming it's going to be the Mewtwo alternate art right now, just based off of what I've seen. The Radiants are gorgeous, but the pull rates on them are probably going to be pretty good because that's how it has been for the past two sets for Brent Stars and Astral Radiance. They're literally like $1 or $2 for shiny Pokemon, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely, especially that type of Radiant. I actually pull a Halucha. Radiant Halucha.
Yeah, that's a fun one to pull.
Yeah.
Julie got that the other day.
It's not too bad. I was surprised because everything else will do in the packs anyway. So.
I like that they're making it more hits.
Right.
By having that second spot. I don't think most of Pokemon Go is going to have that, except for the Radiant cards. I'm pretty sure the Radiant cards are 2 from the back, but we haven't seen any of the English ones open yet, right?
Yeah, I
Well,
seen
actually, no. Some people have, but I haven't seen the clips of it yet.
I seen some people, especially like Ebron Gaming gamer, had actually opened the Spanish set, or at least some packs of the
Okay.
Spanish set. So he got things like the Conkeldurr B and everything. What I'm actually interesting because a lot of things in Japan, of course, you get it in packs,
Hmm.
but in a lot of the things that we're gonna get here in the English set, they're gonna be in promos. You know, Radiant EV is in a promo. The full art leaders are in promos and things like that.
Hmm.
Will there also be part of the regular set when you open the packs, or you're just out of luck at that point? You actually have to
Uh,
buy them.
so I'm actually curious about that. Um, for a few things. The Dragonite V and V Star, for example, those are in promo packs where there's like 6 different cards you can get.
Yeah.
Um, like the Dragonite V and V Star. There is also Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle specifically holding the gift that you can
Right.
send to friends in Pokemon Go in the promo pack, and a Melmetal V. Um, those I know the Charmander and Bulbasaur and Squirtle are gonna be in promo tints. The Dragonite and Dragonite V Star, I don't know. They change very little things between Japanese and English, so it's really strange
We should be getting
how they're gonna do it.
right. We should be getting actually the reveal of the full English set pretty soon because we're almost done with the month. Or
Mhm.
actually, next month is or next week is basically next month already. So um,
I think as a Pokemon Go player, the thing we're definitely going to be most excited for though is the little codes you get in a pack for those free items.
yeah, no, definitely, definitely. So keep an eye out for those, and we'll probably do a couple of giveaways here and there if you guys want to get through those polls and everything. I do have something special for the end of the podcast, though, so just bear in mind.
Ooh,
Um, so yeah, I guess that's how it goes. We'll see how it really going to go for us in the English set. I'm actually kind of spectacle just because a lot of the cars that I kind of chase are just basically buyable no matter what.
yeah.
But
I
I'm
mean,
still gonna open some packs anyway. So
in my opinion, the Radiant Pokemon are like the top thing that people should be collecting
yeah.
from this set, and they're going to be pretty easy to get. The Eevee promo. And the 3 Radiants, the only one you got to worry about is Charizard. I think the other two are going to be pretty cheap, but the Charizard's the only one that worries me.
Well, that's Charizard has always been a staple in the TCG set
Yeah,
anyway. So
he's just
good
so
luck.
cool.
Actually, there was actually funny a little funny story about the TCG stuff. My local community, the Set into Gaming, their main store in Bradenton, somebody bought their heavy base pack of,
Yup, I saw that.
and they were able to open it in the store to everybody to see. And lo and behold, they opened the Hollow Charizard from base set, and I'm like,
Gosh, man.
what the f? That pack has been sitting there this entire time with a
I've seen it.
Charizard, and I seen it, and I'm like, I could have just gotten that, like doing the jackpot. You gotta take gambles, brother. Sometimes you just gotta take gambles.
Oh my gosh.
It's hilarious, but hey, it is what it is when it comes down to it. It could have been nice to say, "Hey, I got something pretty cool here," and then I open it, it's a Charizard, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm rich." I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, so that something like that happens anyway. So we'll see how it goes when it comes down to it. Going back into more Pokemon Go side, once the event is over, I'm not sure what else is gonna come. I don't think they actually mentioned anything. I think the event ends. This event ends in 9 days in the TCG crossover. So that's, well, technically 10 days. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it ends right by the end of the month. Now we're probably gonna
Ooh.
have a little bit of a small season or a small Go season thing around here, and then we'll go over to, I'm guessing, the anniversary event, right?
I mean, that seems like it would line up, right?
Right, because the 1st of July is Friday, and the July
Yeah.
6th is literally coming up 5 days later. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that by that time we're going to have something going on with the anniversary event. So I guess that's our predictions for the next event. There's a lot of other predictions out there, but I'm not sure what it is until we see them, anyways. But enough ranting on. We'll definitely speculate and talk more about it when more news come into fruition. So let's get into our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. I'm using one hand today. Sorry, guys.
Punches.
I know. So 2 days ago, Saturday, there was the GBL Gold Battle Day for featuring Mankey, and the sets to do were GBL Master League and Fossil Cup. I did Master. I'm happy because everybody in rank 1 just doesn't have anything good. So,
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that you did some.
Yeah, I'm like rank 3 right now? Yeah, rank 3 with a longest streak 9 and 15 wins out of 17 so far. So I only lost 2. Not bad. Not too shabby. How about you, Chris?
Let me throw this ball at this Meltan really quick before I miss out on it. Boop. Okay. For this season, I'm currently 171 wins out of 291 battles. With my longest streak being 9-2. That's funny.
Nice.
I'm sitting at 22-36. I keep doing a 4-1 and then going 2-3 or 1-4.
Yeah.
And a lot of the losses I get are like winnable games. But I lag for like 2 moves. It's so weird. But love the Fossil Cup. I'll be real.
Okay.
Such a good cup.
I know the reason why I'm really not doing that. I do have some viable Pokemon to use it, but I'm just like, my sets are all master at this point. I have 3 level 50 Pokemon that I'm just like wrecking with anyways.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad shabby on that when it comes down to it. Maybe this Spinarak will also be a Ditto. I don't know. Spinner has been.
Yeah, the random Dittos have been fantastic.
Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention the Ditto has just been spawning more in the wild for that reason. It's a greater chance. Like literally, when I was doing the collection challenge, all I was getting these Dittos. I couldn't even get a damn Spinarak until like the 10 checked or something. I'm like, bro,
just getting annoyed.
It was
at
just
all
like
the Dittos
all
again.
Dittos, and I'm like, I want to finish this anyway. But yeah, so in regards to GBL, there the Ditto. See, I do also Ditto. Talking about Ditto. When it comes down to GBL, I personally just love the Master League because I do have the ability to use powerful Pokemon. But even if you only are using level 40 Pokemon, as long as you know what you're doing, you're actually able to do a lot of different things in that regard. You just have that little extra boost in the end of the day if you have level 50 anyways. So I like it a little bit more. And I did finish all my sets. Not the reason why I needed to finish the level 50 challenge. I'm almost done with the next page. Just need to catch like less than 400 Pokemon to get to the next page. And I'll get a lot of different things. So
okay,
happy about that. But I don't know. The Master League I felt like the boost to it. So I'm kind of like, I kind of want to do more, just a little bit longer, see what I get. Try to rank up a little bit. Maybe try to get to 20 this season if I can. But we got a long way to go anyway. So.
Yeah, I definitely recommend, if you have a lot of free time, you're bored at home, it's definitely a good way to get some really good Pokemon encounters.
Yes, definitely. All right, before we get into our factions updates, there is something that Chris wants to talk about a little controversy that's happening since the regionals that happened this weekend. So, Chris, go ahead and take it away.
So, I don't really want to bring up their name because I feel like they've been reprimanded enough.
Right.
But, at the most recent Pokemon Go regionals, there was a person that, brought a Pokemon into a battle that they did not click. The screen recording definitely showed that this was correct. But, they didn't have a win condition, but they argued that they were, it was necessary to get a redo and then, obviously switch up the team when they do the redo.
Right.
I don't think it was fair to their opponent. I don't think the, behavior of, calling for a redo when there is literally no chance
Right.
for a win was very, kind, you know.
Yeah.
Um, like they've you know, gotten their justice, I suppose. But if it was a one-time thing, I'm sure people would have, been okay with it and kind of forgave and forgot. But it seems like every single tournament, this player would, have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see, people get better mindsets, I'd say, for PvP. Like even when you're on a team, you got to remember, like, people are looking at you more because of that.
You're
So
representing the team more
you
than
got to be
anything. So yeah.
yeah, you got to be like really mindful that people will call you out on things
Right. Well,
like this.
on the other side of the coin too, there's a lot of people out there on Twitter here that actually did pointing out the rulings when it comes down to bringing the wrong Pokemon into the battle and things like that.
Mhm.
The ruling itself did say that if you actually run the wrong Pokemon into battle, it's like an automatic loss and things like that. So
It Yes, that is the recommended course of action. I understand if they want to
if there's a
do a
ruling to
different
it,
course of
yeah,
action in certain situations,
yeah,
but yeah, it is definitely something people are going to call you out on, though,
yeah,
especially when it is written out like
yeah.
that in their rules.
Now, this player is an exceptional player. He's actually done a lot, and from Sales Arena to everything in the team that he's actually
Yes.
participated in and things like that. But again, just to not name anything, I mean, unfortunately, you have to represent what you do. And if you're constantly doing this, unfortunately, that's going to have repercussion. And especially when it's in camera, you're definitely not going to be able to take away from the camera angle and how people really view it, because people are watching the regionals. People are actually really interested in how people are doing in that and who's gonna go into the internationals and things like that. So, or worlds, I guess I should say. But yeah, it's something that, just like Rick has mentioned, it's something that you really have to uphold. Even if it was your mistake at first, own up to it. You know, it's kind
Uh,
of. I feel like it's kind of in that situation.
like I would have understood if it would have made a difference, but in the end of the day, even if you had the right one, I don't think it would have made a difference.
Right.
It's like having an Altaria versus a Frostlass.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, sure, there might be a win condition there, but no.
Yeah, follow through the rules, understand the things, and it's just be. I want to say sportsmanship, have a sportsmanship to the whole thing at the end of the day. So,
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
and a lot of people can say that this is not the esports that we're looking for and everything. That it just shows that the community needs to look up to the players out there. And if you're doing good, great. I mean, you're doing amazing in the sets and things like that, great. But don't push your luck, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
do feel like if people want Pokemon Go to be a respectable esport, they gotta act respectable to each other.
yeah,
Is something I wanted to, kind of
yeah,
point out.
definitely. So, that being the controversy that happened on the regionals, congratulations to all the winners, of course.
Hmm.
So great matches out there. People really do love been talking about all the regionals so far. So I think Speedy's Chase is actually going to the one coming up this weekend too. So,
Yo,
so it's fun as it is and things like that. So again, keep an eye, be courteous, be sportsmanship to the whole community and things like that. So keep an eye out there, anyways. All right, when it comes down to it, cool. Give me some factions updates there, Chris.
all right. So very close. This last week we battled these Swell Sprouts, and it ended up being a very close loss, 10-11.
Oh, bro, come
Oh
on.
my god, dude, we were screaming. Um, my personal battle, I this was my first or did I lose last week? Let me just double check this before I spout nonsense. Okay, I lost 1-2 last week. I lost 0-3 this week. It was
Oh,
bad.
ooh.
I was very confident in my squad this week. But I made serious team errors and just couldn't cover Shadow Dragonite well enough. They would go Dragonite Double Fire, which is an excellent team comp. I really like that. And it was just very hard to try lining everything up properly. They battled very, very well.
Okay.
Definitely looking forward to a rematch. I'm glad my teammates were able to make it as close as they did. Um, yeah, very good battlers.
Nice.
But yeah, we gotta we gotta fight for our lives now.
Yeah, go ahead and try to do your best, guys. That's all anybody can really ask for.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, even as a close battle, it's still pretty good to date. That it's not like a bad loss, like saying you lost like the full 13 points or 15 points to 0 or something like that. So
yeah. I'm glad it was at least close. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. So again, learn from those mistakes. Know what you're doing. You are in a different format, right? You're not in the actual like
Um,
Great League battles and all
no,
that.
I'm like in the Sylph format right now.
Okay, okay. So it's still pretty good in the end of the day. Just gotta know your ins and outs, brother. Gotta know them. But yeah, so far it is. Good luck to Switch Masters for the next week's battles and all of that.
Thank you.
Anyhow, with that being said, let's get into our questions. So last week I did ask, what's this event, Adventure Week, better than GoFest? What are your thoughts? Not a lot of responses this week, so I'm pushing it off to the next week, of course. If you guys want to answer it, make sure that you go to our Twitter. This week questions, which I kind of already alluded at the beginning of the podcast, but it says, what are your best tips and tricks you have mastered that you want to teach to new players out there? This game is getting new players almost every single day. So at this point, it's more like we want to make sure that those players are doing the best they can to keep up with the veteran players and things like that. So we gave those tips to you guys during the podcast. We definitely have been here if you guys need some more tips or tricks. We also are on the Discord, but go ahead and go to Twitter. You can email us or anything like that. But yeah, I hope that Chris and I can at least give you some insight on things that we can. I know usually in the audio format it's a little bit harder, but if you want to come to Twitch, we definitely would love to see you there. And if you got some questions, we'll definitely answer them when we can. But yeah, I think that's it, Chris. Right? Anything
That's
else?
all I can personally think of.
Definitely. There's been a couple of data mines here and there. We're not going to talk about those until probably the next news section and next week
Okay.
probably. So we'll see when that goes. But yes, thank you so much for listening to the podcast, everybody. You can always check us out in the podcast services feeds and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and all those places. You can email us or anything to the Purified Podcast at gmail.com. My socials, or at least our socials here, Purified Podcast or at Purified Podcast. We have Pure Let It Go and Pokemon Trigger Please. You can join our Discord. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. There's nothing on the start account. We want to actually see people want to come in and actually show us anything. Just join up and things like that. So no worries. And of course, check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, any last notes?
Yeah, I think we covered everything very well.
Definitely. Moneybags, thank you so much for joining us too. If you actually want to see the bots, they're all on Twitch anyways. But if you want a specific bot from any West Duggan, it's waiting to actually get some of them at YouTube eventually. So I only got like half of the episodes in there anyway. So not even half, like a quarter or something. I don't know when it comes down to it. But yeah, and don't forget to follow us. Make sure you follow us anytime, anywhere. But yeah, with that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. We're still looking forward to the Pokemon Go TCG. I feel like it's a little bit less than what we were expecting, but only time will tell. As soon as we start opening it, I know I'm going to fall in love. Hope you guys do too.
Yes.
And this Pokemon Go TCG event has been dandy. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Hope you guys have been making friends and catching Pokemon. And we hope to see you guys next week. Peace out.
Keep purifying them, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.